What if the scariest thing in school wasn't the bullies or the exams, but your own teacher? The students at Maplewood High are about to find out that their new history teacher is hiding a terrifying secret. The story begins on a dreary Monday morning at Maplewood High, where the students are already dreading the long week ahead. As they shuffle into their first period class, a cold gust of wind seems to follow them inside. There's an unfamiliar woman standing at the front of the classroom, tall, thin, and eerily still. She introduces herself as Miss Agatha Graves, the new history teacher. Her voice is calm, almost too calm, and her eyes cold, gray, and piercing make the students uneasy. From the very first day, something about Miss Graves feels off. She never smiles, not even when she's handing out A's. Her movements are too smooth, too deliberate, as if she's controlling every muscle in her body. And then there's her shadow. Students swear it moves on its own, stretching unnaturally long, even when she's standing still. But the strangest thing is how the temperature drops whenever she's nearby, as if she carries winter with her. Days pass, and the students' unease grows into fear. Miss Graves has a way of staring at them, as if she knows their darkest secrets. No one wants to be called on in her class, because when she speaks your name, it feels like a curse. One by one, the bravest students start avoiding her gaze, hoping to go unnoticed. Then, one day, something unthinkable happens. Tommy, the class clown, gets caught passing a note during Miss Graves' lecture. She doesn't yell or even raise her voice. Instead, she quietly asks him to stay after class. Tommy tries to joke his way out of it, but there's no humor in Miss Graves' cold eyes. The rest of the class leaves, but Tommy never comes home that night. The next day, the teachers say he ran away, but his friends know better. Tommy wasn't the type to just disappear. After Tommy, it's Lily's turn. Lily is the model student, always on time, always prepared. But one day, she makes the mistake of questioning something Miss Graves says in class. Miss Graves doesn't argue, she just fixes Lily with that unnerving stare and tells her to see her after school. Lily doesn't come back either. The teachers insist she transferred to another school, but her best friend Sarah knows that's a lie. Lily would never leave without saying goodbye. The disappearances start to pile up. First Tommy, then Lily, then a few others, each one last seen heading to Miss Graves' office. The students are terrified, but they don't know who to turn to. The teachers dismiss their fears as overactive imaginations, and the principal, Mr. Thompson, seems oddly uninterested in the missing students. It's as if the whole school is under some kind of spell. But not everyone is fooled. Emily, a smart and resourceful girl with a knack for solving mysteries, starts to investigate. She's not afraid of Miss Graves, at least. That's what she tells herself. Emily is determined to find out what's happening to her classmates, and she enlists the help of her two best friends, Jason and Sarah. Emily begins by digging through old school records and newspaper archives, hoping to find something, anything, that might explain Miss Graves' strange behavior. What she discovers is more terrifying than she could have imagined. There, buried in the back of an old newspaper, is an article from over 100 years ago. It's about a woman named Agatha Graves, who was accused of witchcraft and the disappearance of several children in a small town. The picture in the article is unmistakable. It's Miss Graves, exactly as she looks today. The realization hits Emily like a ton of bricks. Miss Graves isn't just a teacher. She's something far more dangerous, an immortal being who has been stealing the lives of children for centuries. The legend of Agatha Graves is one of horror and death. Wherever she goes, children vanish, and towns are left with nothing but ghost stories and empty beds. And now, she's here, at Maplewood High, with a new crop of victims. As Emily digs deeper, she learns that Miss Graves is preparing for a ritual, one that she performs every 50 years to maintain her immortality. The ritual involves the sacrifice of 7 students, and with each sacrifice, she grows stronger. The winter solstice is fast approaching, and Emily knows that if she doesn't stop Miss Graves soon, more lives will be lost. Emily, Jason, and Sarah devise a plan. They know they need to find the source of Miss Graves' power, a relic that's hidden somewhere in the school. According to the legend, it's an ancient amulet that has the power to break the curse and banish Miss Graves forever. But finding it won't be easy. The school is full of hidden passages and secret rooms, many of which haven't been opened in decades. And then there's the mirror in Miss Graves' classroom, the one that no one dares to look into for too long. Emily is convinced that the mirror is connected to the amulet, and that it might even be a portal to Miss Graves' true form. The night before the winter solstice, the three friends sneak into the school, determined to find the amulet and stop Miss Graves. The school is dark and empty, but it feels alive, as if it's watching them. The corridors seem to stretch on forever, and strange noises echo through the halls. Every now and then they catch glimpses of something moving in the shadows, but whenever they turn to look, there's nothing there. Finally, they reach the oldest part of the school, the East Wing, which has been closed off for years. It's cold and damp, and the air is thick with the smell of decay. They search room after room, but the amulet is nowhere to be found. Just as they're about to give up, Emily notices something strange, a small door hidden behind a dusty bookshelf. It's locked, but Jason manages to force it open with a crowbar. Inside, they find a small, windowless room. The walls are lined with ancient books, and in the center of the room, on a pedestal, sits the amulet. It's a simple piece of jewelry, a silver chain with a dark, glowing stone in the center. Emily reaches out to take it, but as soon as she does, the door slams shut behind them, trapping them inside. Miss Graves appears in the doorway, her face twisted with anger. "You've been very naughty," she says, her voice cold and menacing. "But it's too late to stop me now." Emily holds up the amulet, hoping it will protect them, but Miss Graves just laughs. "You think that little trinket can save you," she sneers. "I've been alive for centuries. I've seen kingdoms rise and fall, and I've fed on the souls of hundreds of children. You're nothing but a snack." But Emily isn't giving up. She knows that the amulet has power, even if it's not enough to defeat Miss Graves on its own. She remembers the legend, the one about Agatha Graves being burned at the stake. Fire is the key. Fire is the only thing that can destroy her. In a desperate move, Emily smashes a glass jar of chemicals that she finds on a shelf, then uses a lighter from Jason's pocket to set the room on fire. The flames spread quickly, catching Miss Graves off guard. She screams in fury as the fire engulfs her, her body writhing and twisting as she tries to escape. The room is filled with thick, choking smoke, and the friends struggle to breathe. But they can't leave yet, not until they're sure Miss Graves is gone for good. Emily watches as the flames consume her, turning her into nothing more than ash. The amulet glows brighter, then shatters, sending a shock wave through the room. The door flies open, and the friends stumble out into the hallway, gasping for air. The school is shaking, as if it's about to collapse, but they manage to make it outside just as the building starts to crumble. The East Wing is reduced to rubble, and with it, Miss Graves and her evil are finally gone. In the days that follow, the missing students reappear, dazed but alive, with no memory of what happened to them. The school rebuilds and life slowly returns to normal. But Emily, Jason, and Sarah know that things will never be the same. They faced true evil and survived, but the scars of that night will stay with them forever. And as they walk through the halls of Maplewood High, they can't help but feel a lingering sense of dread. Because some things never truly die, they just wait for the right moment to return. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our video for more spine-chilling stories. Stay tuned,